You're such an asshole.
Sick Cappy continuing on, having bouts of energy as I go in between here and the bed, contributing to GDP while I'm sick, unlike other people in the United States. Where'd the question go? Here we go. Not Atham. I want to get Chad in on this because he might have some questions about your corporate structure. So I'm going to answer the question best I can. And then Chad's busy. He's a very important man. He's super busy. He doesn't have time for us plebes because he's on the south side of Chicago doing so. I don't know. He's maybe visiting Marcus. He's visiting Marcus. Anyway, he's too big for us. So I'm going to answer this best I can because you've been waiting a while. And Chad, again, he's just so popular. And then maybe Chad might have some added insights. I want to start a plumbing business with my dad. What all should I learn to handle the financials beside my copy of Basic Economics by Thomas Sowell? That's not going to hurt, but economics is not accounting. You don't need to worry about economics. I mean, you will, but it'll only come through natural logic and decisions. I wouldn't study economics. You need to learn accounting. Your only goal is to do plumbing and then accounting. That's it. That's all it is. And to show up on time and do the job right, etc. Extra info, you're a young man. Oh, man, you're in Ohio? What is everybody hanging out with Ray? License by the end of this year. Okay, so you and your old man could probably strike out on your own. I said, does you or your dad do accounting? And do either of you know how to use QuickBooks software? What about Excel? I'll be teaching myself QuickBooks, thanks again. But neither of us does any accounting properly or currently. Okay, so here's the deal. This is what I'm going to recommend. I'm going to assume you guys are starting an LLC or some kind of DBA. I'm going to recommend an LLC just because of the legal protections, getting your insurance, yada, yada, yada. But an LLC does not require a balance sheet. Now, if you're filing an S Corp or C Corp, no, my S Corp, you don't require a balance sheet. I think C Corps require a balance sheet, but you don't need that. The only reason you're doing you're doing accounting is to estimate how much you need to pay in taxes. That's really the only reason. Yes, it might be curious to know how much you're making. Obviously, I'm just assuming you're going to be profitable, which is not a guarantee. But the main reason you are even saving receipts and tolerating this bullshit is because you need to estimate your income, because in these United States and Ohio, you have an income tax. And since you do not need a balance sheet, what I'm going to recommend for now is the shoebox method of accounting because it's simple and it works. All right. All you're going to do is you got to get yourself into the mindset of tax deductions. What is a legitimate business expense? And this takes a little bit of adapting. You got to okay, wait. Let's say you hopped in your car and you drove down to the Secretary of State to file your LLC. Well, you probably do it online. Let's say you drove down there. Did you save your receipt for gas? Because would you incur that expense had you not started a business? Right? And when you apply that test, would I have incurred this expense without my business? Anytime you say yes, that's a tax deductible expense and you should save it. To simplify this, I always save my receipts, but you are also going to want to get a business credit card, and you have your personal credit card and you have your business credit card, and you don't buy business shit with your personal card, and you don't buy business shit with your personal card, and you do not buy personal shit with your business card. They're separate. That way, when you look through your credit card statement of the business, all all those expenses are tax deductible. Those are what you're going to write off against your revenue. Okay. So the main thing is, again, save your receipts. Is this a legitimate tax deductible expense? Don't do we talked about plumbing, it's tax deduction. No, that doesn't work. Although a lot of people, there's some people who are pretty liberal with their tax deductions. But in any case, your cell phone, right? You got a website. Is the phone on there? Your cell phone is now tax deductible. Your website, your web hosting, that's tax deductible. Your car, your truck, your tools, that's tax deductible. You might already have your tools. Well, what you should do is go find those receipts and write them off. Now, I don't mean to bore you with depreciation and all that, but Depreciation is a different thing. I'm not going to worry about that just yet. I'm going to keep things very simple, and you are just going to write all your expenses off. Not your personal expenses. Did you buy a hydraulic press? That's a tax deduction. Did you buy a pickup truck? That's a tax deduction. Right. So were you on your way to work and you and your old man grabbed a sandwich? That might actually be a tax deduction. That'd be meals and entertainment. So get into that mindset. Would I incur this expense had I not run a business? The answer is no. If I ran a business, I'd get it. I'd have this expense. It's a tax deductible expense. So you're going to save all the receipts of all your expenses and expenditures, all the money you spent running this business. You're going to save all the receipts. I like to double check and save my credit card statement with my business account. And you're going to take those receipts. You're going to put them in a box. Now, maybe a shoebox, maybe some a little bit bigger, depending on the amount of receipts. And what you're going to do is I wait to the end of the year. I would recommend what you do is you do it quarterly at the end of each quarter. And what you're going to do is you're going to take those receipts and you're going to organize them based on expenses. I'm going to recommend you use Excel. It's pretty easy. You can kind of self-teach. And if I could even show you my Excel spreadsheet, but on the top is all the expenses, right? Transportation, IT, computers, hosting, insurance, whatever else. And then I go through each receipt. This is where the tedious part comes in. I look at it and say, oh, this is meals and entertainment. And I type in meals and entertainment and I put the expense there. And then I organize my receipts in piles so that all my fuel expenses in one pile, all my tools expenses is in another pile. You might say, well, what should be my expense categories? Well, it's up to you, but it's logical, right? You don't just have all your expenses written down, but I'm sure if you went and looked at an income, like a sample income statement for a plumbing business, if you found an image search, you'd see all the common categories. And then there's going to be some miscellaneous expenses that doesn't have a logical place. There's always a miscellaneous expense, but you want to have it as clear and organized and the expenses categorized as much as possible. And then depending on what your miscellaneous expenses are, that's not a major expense account. So every quarter you go through your receipts, your box is empty, you save those receipts, label them. I put them in an envelope and I write fuel expense. And then the next quarter goes by, you do the same thing again. You enter in all your receipts. And what you're doing is you're recording and organizing your receipts to create what's called an income statement. And at the end of 4 quarters, at the end of the year, I mean, you could do it at the end of the year. You don't have to do it quarterly. I'm just recommending you do it quarterly. But at the end of the year, you're going to have all your expenses organized and tallied at the bottom. Okay. So you have all your expenses going across, all your actual expenses entering into each column. You sum the total for each categorical expense. And then if you look on the internet for sample plumbing P&L, profit and loss, sample plumbing income statement, it's also the same thing. Then you can go ahead and create another spreadsheet, or you just write it down on a piece of paper. On the left column going down, the very top, you type in revenue or sales. How much money did we take in? And then with your spreadsheet, whether it's quarterly or you wait till the end of the year, you tally up all the figures and you enter in all your expenses. You add up all your expenses, you subtract it from your revenue. There's your total profit. Now, again, you could do it annually or quarterly, but that's all an income statement is. But the reason you might want to do it quarterly is because if you start making a profit early on, you're going to have to pay estimated taxes. And a very common mistake that entrepreneurs do is they don't make their estimated taxes quarterly. You have to fill out a 1040 ES form. And so what doing it quarterly allows you to do is you add up all your revenues for that quarter. You add up all your expenses out of the shoebox for that quarter. You subtract it out, and you can even put up there Q1, quarter one. Here's our quarterly profits. And depending on what your profits are and how much it pays out, between you and your old man, I would say, well, they got worksheets you can use if you want. You can use a 1040 estimated worksheet. I just plop in 20, 25% federal taxes. Then you got to pay state, and then you got to pay local. And it depends on what your state and local taxes are. And I'm sure the county or the local government, and I know the state of Ohio has probably an estimated tax for. You might be able to pay these online. I don't know. But every quarter, you're going to estimate what you owe in taxes. And it helps to have these quarterly income statements derived from your shoebox of box O receipts. And then at the bottom, let's say quarter one, you and your old man, you had a profit of, let's say it's really good, $50,000. Well, that's $100,000 for the both of you, $200,000 over the year. If you keep making $50,000 a quarter, 100,000 for you, 100,000 for him. Well, you got to probably pay a little bit more, maybe 23, 24% feds and all that, right? Because you don't want to be one of these dipshit entrepreneurs that I saw this so much with realtors, especially when the interest rates were low, and they'd make really good money. They'd sell all these houses and they wouldn't make their estimated tax payments. And then they'd come to me and the GF, because we were accountants and finance people. Oh my God, the government, they say, oh, what? Like, didn't you vote Democrat? You did? Fuck off. Pay your taxes, asshole. I love it when Democrats think they don't have to pay taxes and they become slightly successful at an entrepreneur gig. And that happens. That happens in real estate because it's not a real thing. I know there's people who make a shit ton of money off it, but it's like where you go when your career is failing. So that's it. It's and just so you know, like I get a big old table, right? And for hours, I'll just look at one receipt. Okay, this is insurance. It goes on the insurance pile. I grab the next receipt. This is food and entertainment. That goes on the food and entertainment pile. Hours, just put it in. Then you got to go through each pile, enter them into your spreadsheet, and then save them. Put them in their individual envelopes with the name of the expense. Because that way, if you're ever audited, you got your envelopes or receipts for whatever, 2025, 2026. Say, nope, that's a tax deduction. And then in addition to your receipts, not all the time you get a receipt, right? I'm in a very good habit of getting receipts, but I don't always get a receipt because sometimes, especially if you're a Sinclair gas station and you're just an incompetent, you're the worst gas station ever. They never have you. Would you like your receipt? Yes. And it's out of the roll of paper, right? Or my favorite, also Sinclair gas station, it comes out, the piece of paper comes out, but the ink is gone. So you got to go through your credit card statement and look for all the expenses. Now, if you're really good, you just go with the credit card statement and you go off of that. But sometimes you might pay cash for a receipt or whatever. It's up to you how thorough you want to audit those things. But you just take your receipts out of the box. You organize them according to category. Then you enter the individual receipts into each expense category, add up your total revenues. Boom, there's your quarterly income or profit, I should say. And then you ballpark what you got to pay to the Fed, state, and local because you chose poorly to live in Ohio, where they have a local income tax. And that's basically it. Once you do it once or twice, it's not that hard. It's just boring and tedious. And I've found the shoe box of receipts to be a very thorough, because I have all my receipts. I got them there. I got physical copy. And then that way, and the outside chance you get audited, there's your receipts. The IRS agent is going to look and say, shit, he's one of these people that saves his receipts. Like, box of receipts right here, sir. Let's go through them, shall we? And then it's a long and tedious thing. But yeah, that's basically all you need. The only reason you need an income statement. Well, there's another reason you would need an income statement and doing the accounting. And that is if you want to borrow money from the bank, whether it's personal because you're generating your personal income from this business, or you want to get a business loan from a bank. So you are going to need income statements, and you're going to need your tax returns minimum. Some banks may require actual audited income statements, but tax returns should suffice. It's been a long time since I've worked in banking, but you got to prove to the IRS, this is how much I made. Here's the taxes I owe you. And then if you want, I don't know, we need a new, I'm trying to think, plumbing. We need a new torch. sweat some pipe. Okay, I need well, that's just a little map gas thing. I'm trying to think of a big, let's say a truck. Yeah, we got to get a truck. We don't have the cash. You go to the bank, you say, look, here's our income statement. We could afford the payment on the truck if you lend it to us, the money. So for banks and borrowing, you should be able to do it, or you need to do the income statement. But ideally, you won't have to. If you can avoid borrowing money from the bank, please, please, please listen to me, kid. Listen to me, okay? This is years of working in banking. Don't be these dipshit entrepreneurs where it's like, we're serious businessmen. No, you're not serious until you make like 5 years in a row positive income that pays for all your shit. Like you can live off of it. I don't want you guys buying a brand new truck. I don't want stupid fucking signage. Go get a magnet print off thing cheap. All right. I swear to God, the way to make money, show up on time, do the job right, do it sober, and clean up after yourself. If you want sober plumbers, go get the URL right now. That's how you're going to make money, not buying some 2025 Who Dang Diggly pickup truck. Keep your expenses low. Buy tools. Yeah, you're going to need tools. Get equipment. Get materials. Sure. But no, man, don't. I got a penis extender, the Ford F-150 Platinum. And you're gonna. I'm assuming you and your old man know you're gonna be banging the truck up, right? You should probably just get a shitmobile because you're gonna ding it, and then your expenses are low, and then you're making money, and then you get the girls up. So I think that should be enough for your purposes right now, unless you became a larger corporate entity and you needed a balance sheet, which I don't think you need. But yeah, I'd be getting a corporate credit card. Put all your business-related expenses on that. So you have a ledger, save all your receipts. They should match up. And then some receipts that you don't have, they'll be on the credit card. And then sometimes you might pay something cash. You have a receipt, but it's not on your credit card because you paid cash for it. Say, hey, is this tax deductible? I want a receipt. All the guys in the red pill community, I'll go, whatever. I'll go to a conference or something and I'll hang out with them, right? Well, if it's a conference, I'm at work, or for, I don't know, strategizing something, yeah, we go have fun and all that. But if I'm like, hey, give me a receipt for that. And they all make fun of me. I'm like, no, you're not my fucking friend. You're Vince from Masculine Geek. Nobody likes you. All right. I'm writing this off, asshole. I wouldn't fly out to Jersey just to hang out. I'm here on business. Why would you go to Jersey? So that's the mentality you got to get into. Do not go ridiculous. I'm writing off my Xbox 360. No, you're not. Not unless you're doing video game reviews and getting paid for it. But that's what I would do. We got T-Rash, man. How you been? Good to see you. $2. Hey, Cap, finally caught you live. How you been? I'm sick as a dog. You're a young man, so this is what you get to look forward to when you're older. But I'm over 50, so you can get the shingles vaccine. That's what I bought for my birthday. And just so you all know, the shingles vaccine, you get 2 shots. One, the first one, and then you gotta wait 2 to 6 months to get the second one. So I got the second one yesterday. Both knocked me on my ass. It's like, you just like, here's the flu. Here you go. You're gonna feel like shit for the next 36 hours. And it's horrible. I'm a little better now, but this morning, like, oh God, it was bad. And I rarely take naps. I was out this afternoon. But yeah, that's I know you look like that and you're young, and don't bother getting it until you're 50. They're gonna turn you away. But you get to look forward to that when you're older. It's good to see you, T-Rash. Good to see you. All right, that's it. Questions, answers, assholeconsulting.com. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.